Good morning. So things have changed. We are in a new location. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. It's beautiful in here. New salon. It's gorgeous. Okay, so today I am going to color a wig for one of my coworkers' clients. I will show you what I'm going to do. So let me turn this around. So this is what I'm working with. I'm going to try and diffuse that as much as I can. And then around the front, I'm just going to do some money pieces around the front to bring some blonde around her face. And then from the money piece back, I'm going to take this base level and I'll brush it down to help diffuse this line, because we don't like lines like that. I'm not sure why it was done like that, but I'm going to try my best to diffuse it. And then towards the back, I'm going to try my best to blend this piece better because it's like a giant slice. And then I'll probably try and diffuse these a little bit too. It's just really chunky and stripy. And this is huge. I don't know why there's such a huge piece back here, but I'm gonna try my best to put a few low lights through this so it'll be more blended like over here, not here, like down here, because it just stands out. So yeah, diffuse the line, money piece in the front, and then I'm going to try and take some of this blonde out with some low lights. So there she is before. And I, excuse me, I was raised in the 90s, so I am partial to warm blondes. Like, I actually like this color. Nowadays, a lot of people don't like this color because they don't like warm, but it's actually probably one of my favorite highlight colors, because even if you do a cool toned blonde, it inevitably, like, your toner will eventually fade away a little bit and it's going to turn warm anyways. That's why I like warm blondes to begin with, because they're just gonna stay warm. Like, they're really pretty. Cool tone, I do like cool tone, like your icy platinums and your ashy blondes. But I'm just so partial to that golden honey tone. That's like my favorite highlight color. But on this wig, it wasn't executed the way I would have done it. So I'm going to make her better. The wig quality is great. I don't know where she ordered it from. I don't know how the color was done, but I'm going to try my best to keep it more like what you see here. Because I like this. I don't like that. It just sticks out. So stay tuned and I will take you along with my process. So this wig, because she has a preset part in the middle, I am going to have to do the sides individually for the money piece. Normally on a human, you would take the front bang or fringe area and you would just do baby lights across the whole front. But because she has a preset part, I'm going to have to do each side individually. So this whole front, I'm going to weave a few baby lights to help get rid of that line and to bring brightness around her face. Before I forget, so wig hair is different to color than hair on a human because it's on a mannequin. So there is no heat from the scalp like a human, so I have to use a higher volume developer to do her highlights. So I'm probably going to have to use 30 or 40 volume. Judging by this color and her base, what is her base? Her base is a 2. So because she's a level 2 on her base color, I hope you can see that. I'm probably going to have to use 40 volume because there's no heat from like a human scalp. And then I'll have to use our little heat lamp to help it process evenly and faster. And then I'll do a level 2 to help better blend these stripy highlights in. If I'm using this lightener, I found this at the recent ABS Chicago Hair Show, and I really, really like this. It is a blue-violet lightener, and blue-violet lighteners are my favorite, which means the actual powder inside has a blue-violet tint, so as you highlight hair, it helps keep the warmth down. Then I'm going to use my favorite Fremar black foils. They're my favorite foils. And I have this mixed 1 part lightener to 1.5 parts 40 volume developer. This is how much hair I take for a section when I do a baby light. So it's very, very, very thin, and I'm going to do teeny tiny weaves, like very small pieces of hair. Doing that will help diffuse lines. So when you highlight it from, this is so dark and this is so blonde, like you can't even really see it because it's so light compared to her skin. So when you highlight it from that dark to that light, if you don't have, how do I word that? If you have too big of pieces, sometimes you can see warmth at the top. So doing smaller pieces, if there is any warmth, you probably won't be able to see it. I hope I'm explaining that correctly, but so like where her dark meets light, it's so hard. Okay. There's like little tiny bits of warmth right here. Like, so I don't know if you see like the orangey-ish tones. If you do them smaller, they're not that obvious. Like when I let go, you can't really see it. Like even bringing it back right here, you can't really see it. Like if you did a big slice like this, it just stands out. I hope I'm making sense. So I'm going to do really teeny tiny baby lights for a money piece. That's how thin my sections are. My little weaves are. They're very small pieces. So I've decided to do something a little bit different that I didn't say before. So because it's kind of uneven all over the place, the more I look at it, I'm going to go in between like these blank sections right here, and I'm going to take a teeny tiny baby light and I'm going to highlight in between these so it's a little bit more blended, like back here, because the sides are just so stripy and there's just like blank areas that I just want to better blend. So like I'll probably add like 4 little highlights right here. You won't even probably be able to notice them that much, but it should make a little bit of a difference. So now I'm moving on to adding some low lights right here to help reduce the size of this piece. So I don't have a level 2. I thought I did, but I don't. So I'm going to use a Joico Lumishine 3 NNA, and it'll be really, really similar to a 2. Joico is a little bit darker than Matrix. I usually use Matrix, but I'm going to use Joico Lumishine 3 NNA. And I'm using 5 volume. So I have the mannequin head tilted to the left so you could see. That is a huge piece. That's bigger than the rest of the hair, the highlights in the hair. So I'm gonna do probably 2 low lights in here to help break up how giant this is. And the reason I have her head tilted to the left is so I can foil it on an angle because it was highlighted on an angle. So it's like, it's straight down instead of straight across. So it's a vertical section instead of a horizontal. I just put the 2 foils in for the 3 NNA, and already you can tell by taking those out, it's so much better blended. So I've got 2 foils in there. So I'm gonna move on to diffusing the line towards the top. So how I do that is I start by taking my color and I apply it about an inch above where the highlights meet the root color. So you apply it kind of thick, and then you grab, where is it? Excuse me. You grab a comb and just comb it through. Combing it down will help diffuse that line. If it doesn't look saturated enough, apply more. And drag it down. It'll help diffuse that line. Yep. Let's check our highlights. I have not put my heat lamp on it yet. I'm going to because I have a feeling this is going to be very orange. Ooh, that's lifting really well with 40 volume. So yep, I'm gonna slap my heat lamp over here and lighten these a little bit more. They're almost there. It's only been on about 20 minutes. Now I've got her, if you will, baking with the heat lamps. These are like the same bulbs that you get at like pet stores. They put off a lot of heat. So she'll be lifted in no time. Like I say 5-10 minutes and she'll be blonde. Just turned the heat lamp away and I just am now checking it about 7 minutes after I last checked it. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'd say she's ready. Yep. I'm gonna start taking those off. These side pieces are nowhere near ready yet. I'll show you. Yet no, not even close. So I'm gonna do those a few more minutes under the heat lamp, and then I'm gonna take the front pieces off. And look at that. So much better. Still waiting on these. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to take the 3 NNA right here because it's just not wanting to get any brighter. So I'll check after a few more minutes, and if it still is that color, I'm just gonna have to put the 3 over it again, or put the 3 back over it. But yeah, this looks much better. Much, much, much better. I just went through and reapplied some more lightener because it was starting to dry out, so I'm gonna let that sit a few more minutes. It's not bad, but I'm definitely gonna put some, drag the 3 NA over this a little bit. I just don't like that. But below that, it's a good color. I am gonna have to tone her as well. So So I just took the highlights off. And I just did little teeny tiny ones right here, and already it looks so much better. But I am going to take the 3NA and drag it down right here, because you can just see there's like some orange pieces, and I don't like that. So yep, I'm gonna drag it down a little bit more. I also went through and decided to add a little teeny tiny taproot right here, because there was a couple orange pieces and I don't want her to see orange around her face. Already it looks so much better. I'm gonna rinse this off soon. I'm gonna comb it down and let it sit for 5 more minutes, then I'll rinse it off. Now that I got the highlights where I want them, I am toning this wig. So the way that I am choosing to tone is I am doing a purple shampoo toning bath. So what that is, I'll show you. It's a little scary, but it worked. Is I have a bucket with warm water and a bunch of the Biolage Color Last purple shampoo. And you just put a bunch of shampoo in the water until you get it the color you want it. I made mine a little bit darker because of how dark orange the highlights were underneath this wig. And now I just set it in there as long, you sit them in there as long as you want until you get the tone you want. And give me just a second. It's hard for me to show you this, but this is the highlights that were the very bottom of the wig, or the very underneath. And look at how much blonder that is just from the toning bath. It's so pretty. Let me see if I can show you the front. It's really hard to see, but that is the front, just from doing the toning bath. I am not using an actual color toner. I just did the purple shampoo toning bath. It's such a pretty shade. That is the highlights that I did right here. I cannot wait to blow dry this. So here is the after. Definitely softened that line that was there. Much more wearable now. There we go. And then I'll try and show you the money piece. There's the money piece. Oh. So pretty. Blends in really nicely with the rest of the hair. Pictures will do better than video, because whenever I do video, it makes everything look a lot warmer than what it is. Like, what you're seeing in the video is not what it looks like in real life. Like, it's not as yellowy as what it looks in my phone for some reason. It's much more blended and not as much of a line as there was. The money piece is really pretty. Oh, and let's look at the back. Back is much better now too. That obnoxious weird line is gone now. That weird, not line, that weird giant chunk is now much more blended. Looks much better. Much better. Here is the finished look. Now, she did not want a super blended highlight look. She wanted more of a bold look. but I still wanted to blend those lines in as best I could. I love the tone that it came out. It looks beautiful on her.